Okay, so you just squeezed out that you're opening an academy. I didn't actually know about that.
Yes.
I know that you've got a little secret launch up your sleeve. Do you want to maybe reveal?
Yeah, we've got a few things in the pipeline, to be honest with you.
But it seems like there's one specific thing. That's what I'm kind of keen to know.
You don't want to say too much. It's very sexy. It's very, very, very...
Oh, you've told him, but you haven't told me.
We've got a couple of things in the pipeline. If I was to address a couple of things, we have the online education platform that I'm soon to deliver, which I'm really excited for, and it comes back to being able to spend a little bit more time at home. And the whole purpose behind it is that I can get a further reach. There's going to be a lot of people throughout the world that can't get to me and I can't get to them, but the way that I can do it is through digitally.
Yeah.
And I think my idea, my purpose, my challenge is to change the way that people think and change the way that people feel about men's hair cutting throughout the world. And if I can touch the hearts of people in all four corners of the world, then that's my mission complete.
When you say think, is it the way that is that kind of instill a system in them, or fashion? What do you mean specifically?
Well, if we think about how men's hair cutting is and was and is going to become, men's hair cutting has been very basic over the past 10 years, and it's been pick hair up, it's been cut it square, no such thing as point cutting, and so forth. And obviously today we have sectioning, we have mapping out the zones of the head, we have point cutting and so many different texturization techniques and fading and incorporating both. There's just so much going on now. And I think the old school thought process has started to evolve now. And similarly in the Western world, we're all conditioned to think about hair in one way. Do a horseshoe section, clip it up, do the size first, cut the top, done. And we're surpassing that. And what I challenge people and what our motto is at the Menspire Academy is to enable people to discover how to think and not what to think.
So I think based on just that one sentence or paragraph that you've given there, it just goes back to what you said at the very beginning of the interview: good, solid foundations, because you can't build any of these advanced cuts without that solid foundation.
There's only 3 ways you can physically, 4 ways you can physically cut a piece of hair. One is straight, one is 45, there's that, and there's that. Really, when you think about it, and you're working with that, you think of a painter or an artist or a designer, they have a master canvas, we're dealing with that head shape. It's all about section patterns, it's all about knowing head shapes and face shapes and occipital bones. It's all about knowing about good foundation. I said to a hairdresser the other day, literally, what's the difference between layering and graduation? Couldn't answer the question. What is the difference between layering is removal of weight, graduation is the build-up of weight. It's a 10-year-old child should know that after being in school. Hairdresser didn't know it, pulled it out. Didn't want to make it look silly, but I said, what chance have we got when someone's got 113,000 followers and has won 56 awards and they didn't know the answer to that question? I ask you. So again, you get out what you put in, and I think the old school way of hairdressing, like you said, the classic horseshoe, lift it up, do the size, drop it down, connect it up, it's kind of like, no. Because the client now knows the difference between a good haircut and a bad haircut. And the client knows the difference now between a good haircut and a great haircut. Years ago they didn't. Only the hairdresser knew the difference between a good and a great haircut. And I think nowadays people are going in and going, I want that, and people are like, imagine turning up with one of your haircuts that you do and saying, I want that, and they'll be like, oh, I'm not too sure. Really, do you really want that? That's what you'd have to say, because they wouldn't have the technique to do it. I think the more people invest in education, this is not a sales pitch coming from me because I'm doing academies or Josh's. Fundamental of these industries is education. It's about it's repetition. You do something over and over and over again, you get good at it. And every time I had 300 quid, I'd nip to London and my hand would be up on a course.
It's like that old saying that people say, I hate to sound so cliche, but if you give a man a fish to eat for a day, and if you teach him how to fish to eat for the rest of their life, if you teach someone one haircut, they're going to know just that haircut.
And they can
use that.
Teach them,
a variation of techniques, they'll be able to create any haircut. And I think that's what we really try to enforce and encourage at the Menspire Academy is to be able to understand technique, understand, you know, how and why, where and when. And then once you have those principles, then you can create what you want.
You can go anywhere in the world with a pair of scissors in your back pocket and a comb. I was on a beach in Thailand 13 years ago with a battery, and I had a pair of clippers connected up to a battery in Koh Samui, and I was charging £6. It was a gimmick. I was charging £6 haircuts, and you can imagine I'd just come off this big show at the time, and I was doing £6 haircuts on the beach with a pair of clippers and a big horrible comb.
That's really interesting. How long ago was that?
This was 2009, 2010. 6 weeks on a beach doing that. Oh, I didn't need the money. £5 haircuts doing that. Ding, ding, ding.
Mate, it was 2012, 2013, I've done exactly the same thing. I was in Thailand, I was in Koh Samui, I was on top of a rock. Only difference is we had cordless clippers then. And the cordless clippers...
See, he's doing with cordless.
I need to get the video.
But isn't it mad though? It's the same thing. I did it as fun. I was on my own. I was getting away to clear my head, and I just came out of a horrible marriage, and I thought I'm going to get away. And the last thing I wanted to even think about was hair. But then I seen some kids on the beach, and I bought me this battery charger now, and I started doing these little £5, £6 haircuts, and before you knew it, I was doing 15, 20 cuts a day on the beach.
To the same standard?
Same standard, because, like I said, if you know technique, you can cut hair with a broken bowl.
Yeah. And another thing that I think that makes a average, above average, or an exceptional barber or hairdresser from the other guy is just those little things.
Tiny margins.
Yeah, like connection, you know, after you've done your clipper work and you've done your scissor work, being able to, some people don't even make that connection, that's a little thing.
They're sectionings, you can see through them, and it's pretty much how you work. It takes a lot longer. You don't see Suzanne doing a haircut in 20 minutes, it's impossible, because you're dealing with sections this big, and that's the margins when you're doing detail work. It's those tiny, 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 tiny margins that make a difference.
I think execution is the big thing, you know, being able to execute a haircut will separate someone from being great to absolutely excellent.
Yeah.
You know, execution is really, really important.
Okay, so we've had a wealth of information from this interview. It's like coming to a close now. Both of you have got something up your sleeve where everyone can feed off of your knowledge, your experience and your education. What is this little secret that you've got for us? This nice little pot sweetener you've got at the end for us?
What we're going to be doing with Barber Ego, we're going to be putting on a really cool sort of an evening with Josh and Adee, or Adee and Josh, whoever. I don't care whose name goes first. We haven't got egos, have we? It's going to be a great evening where it's going to be an evening. We'll probably do some presentation models. I'm going to invite some of my sort of heroes of the industry, and we're going to be doing an amazing evening with Josh and Adee, and it's going to be a Q&A. We're going to present some wonderful work, and it's going to be done in the right setting. No bars, no beers. It's going to be sitting down and listening and gaining that information, and it's going to be just something really, really cool and something very credible. I'm really excited about it. It's going to be really, really cool.
Okay, so this is going to be an event where people can come through and go away with a solid takeaway.
Yes. Yes.
I think we've both got a lot to give.
Yeah.
We both want to give. I think the fact that we desire to share so much with, you know, people out there, to be able to do what we have done and to, you know, recreate what we have created. You know, I, for one, certainly am very fortunate of the hard work that I've put in with my business partner to be able to create something that, you know, we were once told that you can't do it.
Yeah.
You know, now people are asking us how you've done it. So, you know, I'd love to share that with a lot of people out there, so that, you know, they have the inspiration to go away and do something for themselves that they're proud of.
Okay, so just quickly, because you've just said something really key there for me. You know, if someone with not the brightest spark, is your system and your journey that you've taken that simple that anybody could do it if they had discipline?
Sure, you don't have to be a bright spark, you don't have to be smart, you don't have to be clever, you don't have to be intelligent, but you do have to work hard.
And be open-minded.
Exactly.
And eat the right food, and eat the right diet, and go up at the right time, you'd have an amazing body, you'd have great technique. If you come to the gym once a month, you're going to still have carry a bit of timber like I am, and you're never going to get that perfect body. So it's all about How much do you want? I say to people when they come to me, if you want to do 9 to 5, that's fantastic. But if you want to get to that level, you need to leave the watch at home and you need to kiss goodbye to social life, because that will not exist. So people that come to this event, bring your notepads, take some notes, listen, leave your egos at the door, and take away what you want. It's the whole idea of the evening is done for the right reasons. It's just us saying, this is his technique, this is what I've done, this is what he's done, and in our opinion, we're kind of doing things to a reasonably good standard. It's fair to say we're trying to be humble about it, and I think people will leave that haven't seen him on stage, that haven't seen him, because, you know, it's a big world out there, and we want it to be just a really interesting evening of the do's and don'ts. And we'll talk about technique, we'll talk about how to do good collections, we'll talk about how to get involved with the awards, we'll talk about seminars, we'll talk about education, we'll talk about how to start your own business, how to open up your own barber shop, how to get into education. It's just a Q&A on the A to Z of the industry, in our opinion.
And leveraging on your experience, because you know, both of you have probably made loads of mistakes, and learning off of someone else's mistakes is sometimes the quickest way not to make them and excel to a position that you want to be at. Yeah. Guys, thank you very much.
Thank you for your time, brother.
Josh, Lamonaca, Adee Phelan, thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.